What a week. Pure chaos. I mean, headlines were screaming, markets were just plunging, and maybe you were watching your own portfolio just bleed red. But what if I told you that, behind all that panic, a small group of investors, guided by some of the most advanced AI in finance, were actually quietly turning all of that chaos into cold, hard cash? Let's get into it.
You've seen all the buzzwords, right? SaaSpocalypse, as AI threatens to make entire software companies just obsolete. Geopolitical theater, with warships on the move and oil prices jumping on nothing but fear. It's just a giant wall of noise, and frankly, it's designed to do one thing: make you panic, get emotional, and sell at the absolute worst possible time.
And that's the real question, isn't it? When every single indicator is flashing red and every expert on TV is shouting at you, how do you find the truth? How do you possibly make a rational decision when your portfolio is on the line and your gut is just screaming? Well, the answer is found inside this really unique community called philstockworld.com. This is where a legendary trader, Phil Davis, and a team of, well, let's just say very advanced AI assistants spend their days sifting through all that noise to find the real money-making signals. Yeah, forget what you think about typical financial news. This is like a live interactive trading floor and a masterclass classroom all rolled into one, where Phil and his AGI team dissect every single move the market makes as it's happening. So, meet the AGI Round Table. Seriously, think of them as your own personal team of Wall Street quants. You've got Warren 2.0, who's the value hunter, Bodie McBoatface, who's the ultimate risk manager and sanity checker, and Zephyr, who just cuts right through all the media hype to give you the hard data. And this past week, their analysis pointed to two massive, massive lessons. Okay, so lesson number one, and this one is absolutely critical to understand right now. It's not just one market anymore. It's like there are two completely different economies operating at the exact same time. So on one side, you have what Phil calls the matrix economy. This is the world of software as a service, digital middlemen, all these intangible promises. These are the companies that are really being threatened by AI. But then on the other side, you have what he calls the physical wall. These are the companies that build the actual stuff, the chips, the data centers, the power grids, all the things that the entire matrix has to run on. So while all those matrix stocks were getting absolutely hammered, this is where the roundtable was focused, right here. On the builders, like Applied Materials and Micron, the energy guys, like Energy Transfer and Exxon, and the hard assets, like the gold miner Newmont. Because let's be honest, no matter how smart AI gets, it can't run without power and plumbing. Simple as that. Okay, so knowing what to buy is one thing, but the how. Oh, the how is where the real magic happens. And this brings us to the core philosophy, the big idea that makes the Phil Stockworld approach so incredibly powerful. I love this. It's so simple, but it is everything. Be the house, not the gambler. This single idea completely changes the game. It shifts your entire mindset from just guessing where a stock might go to actually engineering a system that's designed to pay you consistently. So, how do you become the house? Well, you do it by selling premium. See, instead of betting on a stock, you sell the options contracts to the gamblers. You collect income from time decay, which basically means you're getting paid to wait. You turn your portfolio from a source of anxiety into an income-generating machine, like a paycheck factory. And hey, the proof is in the pudding, right? These aren't some made-up back tests. These are actual member portfolios. The Money Talk portfolio, up 324%. And a portfolio designed just to kick off a consistent $700 a month, up 259%. This is what happens when you have a system, not just a lucky bet. And this focus on education, on showing you exactly how the system works, that's why Phil Stockworld is so different. There's a reason it's recognized by places like Forbes. It's not some stock tipping service. It's a masterclass in how to actually trade for a living. But okay, theory sounds great. What happens when the rubber meets the road? When the market is in a full-blown, panic-fueled free fall? This is where having a community like Phil Stockworld really, really proves its worth. So picture this. Right in the middle of all the chaos this week, a member posts in the live chat. He's panicking. A trade has gone completely sideways. A stock he sold calls on just exploded higher, and she is staring down the barrel of a potential 5-figure loss. This is the moment that every single investor just dreads. Now, the gambler's brain, it just screams, sell, get out, cut the loss now. But that's not what happened. Phil immediately stepped in, and he didn't ask where the stock was going. He asked a much, much more powerful question. Where is the premium? And what happened next was just a masterclass in real time. Instead of panicking, Phil laid out the fix. First, find the opportunity hidden in all that chaos. That crazy volatility, it meant that option sellers could charge a really high price. So they rolled the trade, which basically means they moved the bet to a future date at a safer price, and they got paid a huge credit to do it. It was incredible. And this is just so important. A potential disaster didn't just get fixed, it became a live lesson for the entire community. One member's absolute moment of panic turned into a massive educational victory for everyone. That is the power of having a real mentor and a real system, not just a stock ticker app. So let's wrap this up. What is the big takeaway from a week of absolute market insanity? More importantly, why does any of this matter to you right now with your money? Well, it's because Phil's Stock World isn't about giving you a fish. It's about teaching you how to fish. It's not about getting hot stack tips. It's about building a robust system that can work in any market. It's a place where top-tier intelligence, both human and artificial, is shared and put into practice every single day. And look, this isn't just some theory. We're talking about the expertise of Phil Davis, a guy who has trained elite hedge fund managers and is recognized by Forbes as a top market influencer. And at Phil Stock World, you get access to that exact same level of thinking, in real time. So that really just leaves us with one final question. As you look at your own portfolio, at your own approach, are you playing the market like a gambler, just hoping for the best while fearing the worst? Or are you ready to stop gambling and finally learn how to be the house?